We're thrilled now to go to Minneapolis. We're welcoming in Jeff Brooks. He is one of the composers who was commissioned, wrote a new piece especially for today, for this festival. His work is for Mark Stewart, who is in Western Massachusetts. So really curious to hear, first of all, how you chose the double neck guitar, whether he suggested it or you just have always wanted to write for double neck guitar. And how the process of creating the work went.
No, I just wanted to write a piece for Mark, and I've been writing pieces for Mark for. He was my main guitarist that I've written for all these years, and all these electric guitar pieces. Was he part of the? Was Mark part of the Michael Gordon Philharmonic in the early stages?
For a period, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so I was writing for him back then in the Michael Gordon Philharmonic when he was with that famous predecessor to the All Stars. But I always felt that Mark had this kind of shamanistic, slightly edge to him. Where slightly mysterious powers. And I wanted to write a piece it was for healing. And so I had to draw on that part of Mark and just get into that aspect of his playing and the meditative quality that it has. But like I was just mentioning to it, you realize just in the last few days that the piece, while meditative, it's not like a delicate piece that he initially thought it was. It's a rough piece that can handle some volume, and the two-neck guitar was his idea. He said, "I've got this wonderful instrument. I got this, and I don't have anything to play on it." And I thought, okay, yeah, I can do that. The two-neck monster that you don't really need two necks on a guitar. They've been doing fine with one neck, since playing lute songs. And I wanted to use both necks at the same time, which is hard to do because one you've got one to do both. So the 12 string neck has been retuned, so you can just pluck on the 12 string, and then you can hammer on and get some sustain on the 6 string neck. So.
You started out playing the electric guitar, is that right? Or
that's a rumor to that effect, yeah.
Yeah, there's a rumor about that, and I somehow remember there's a story about your first guitar.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stories, but that's I don't know if you want to get started down.
Okay, what about the title of your piece?
Yeah, it's called Santuario, which is just there's a particular place that I had in mind, the Santuario de Chimayo in New Mexico, which is a special. You can see people as you go there. They're walking on crutches to be healed at this place where the dirt is considered to be sacred or have healing properties. The chilies are very good also. They grow.
I remember when you went there many years ago, you sent me some dried chilies.
Yeah.
I love that you've tapped into that part of Mark, because I think people identify him so strongly with the Banging Can All-Stars or with Paul Simon, but when you get him alone, and also with all his instrument building, and he's got a whole barn full of instruments he's built, and how deeply he speaks music. Just the way you articulated that he's like the shaman. We all feel that. So it's so beautiful that in this moment you captured that in it's a part of the piece. It's part of what the piece is. So it's an exciting thing about putting two people together, that someone who's going to see that potential in a player and then put it into music.
It's funny. There's a certain, Jane Stewart, no relation to Mark, who was, she and Richard commissioned the piece, because they were going through a place where they needed healing in their life too. And there's all this, I know Mark had some family tragedy. He lost his father at the time, and we're all going through different kinds of pain and suffering that needed to be addressed. I think this piece, just a lot of things were coming together at the same time that the piece drew energy from and turned it into more of a positive thing. Especially if you add the Marshall stacks.
Well, here's a prayer and hope that everyone is healed.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for mentioning Dick and Jane. The piece was commissioned by Banging the Can with support from Dick and Jane Stewart. Jane Stewart, a longtime board member of Banging the Can, so supportive from the very beginning. She's totally psyched about this piece. I spoke to her a couple months back, and she's like, "I'm so excited about this new piece Jeff is writing for Mark." So it's wonderful to have that support and enthusiasm for the project.